Welcome to the Tea of Life podcast, where our mission is to transform every attitude of life by encouraging and equipping you to live the life you love and love the life you live. I am your host, Tiffany Thompson. So today on the podcast, we have Rayson Choo, and Rayson actually lives in Singapore, so he is 12 hours ahead of us right now. So we're actually recording this at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's 9:30 a.m. on Thursday there where you are. So it's dark here and it's light there. I can see the sunshine kind of coming through, reflecting off of you, and you can probably see that it's kind of dark here, right?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you.
Good morning to both of you. Good morning to both of you. It's really my honor and pleasure to be featured on your podcast, Tea of Life podcast as well. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We love having you here. Rayson Choo is the host of the Ragacy Show, and Ragacy is a combination of your name and legacy.
Yep.
Okay,
correct.
So it's the Ragacy Show, where you encourage others to become the best at who they are and what they can do. And a few years ago, you actually went through some difficult challenges, one of which was taking care of your mom, who was suffering from schizophrenia. And through these challenges, you grew a desire to help and inspire others. And your desire is to actually inspire 20,000 people by the year 2020.
Yes, correct. And to be frank, I've already reached that amount already. So I'm going higher.
Oh, okay. So what's your next goal?
My next goal will be 50,000. Yeah, I reached more than 20,000 already. It's more than about 30-ish. Yeah, so I'm going higher. Yeah, so going higher and higher and see how I can reach there. Even though I've been featured in newspapers and radio and etc., I believe it could be more, and I hope I can go on more podcasts like yours and even Ellen DeGeneres show, or even Oprah in the near future. Yeah, or Dr. Oz if he's still doing his show.
That's awesome. So when you go on that, make sure that you mention Tea of Life podcast, okay?
Definitely.
Okay.
I'll definitely mention you guys. I'll definitely mention you guys. No worries. And definitely more people will be tuning into your show as well.
Absolutely. And you believe that why some people thrive in challenging times and others don't is clearly distinguished by your mindset and choices. So I would love to dive a little bit into that, and you tell me about that.
Sure, no problem. You see, mindset is something really, really important in every person's life, especially those who are really successful. Because for me, in the year 2014, I actually had a lot of setbacks. I faced a lot of setbacks during that period of time. Even though I was 24 back then, I already faced quite a number of challenges. And the challenges are, in fact, I was being laid off as a Japanese clinic nurse. That's damn tough. That was the toughest period of my time. And after I was being laid off, it was like as if Murphy's Law was acting upon me, because somehow or other, a lot more challenges came into my way. Like literally, I was being laid off, and then within a few weeks later, I broke up with my ex-girlfriend. We had a lot of quarrels along the way, and I felt that it's enough. It's time to actually make a change. It's time to actually improve on myself, to change my life to a better. So I decided to end the relationship. It was very toxic because we were always quarreling almost every single day. And that was after I was being laid off as well. So can you imagine the stress that I have?
Sure.
It was tremendous. And after the breakup, I was jobless. I do not know what I can do, like literally, other than just being a nurse. Because after having a diploma in nursing, I thought the only way that we can go to is nursing. But I was dead wrong, because within, say, about a month or so, I chanced upon my old secondary schoolmate who was actually a thug in my school. He was a bad boy in school, and then I saw him doing motivational speaking to secondary school students, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And that was the epiphany, because before I saw that on Facebook, that his profile picture was changed to this, I was actually watching a movie with my friends, and apparently there was this advertisement going on in terms of teaching and coaching. So that gave me a spark, I would say. That sparked me a lot, and I said, hey, that's what I wanted. And then when I reached home, turned on Facebook, I saw that. And it's like God or the universe giving me the attraction towards what I wanted. And that gave me a brilliant idea that I had to go and message him, privately message him to ask him how did he get this opportunity, and also at the same time, how can I be part of this? And he invited me to this mentor. His name is David King. So apparently this guy actually messaged me and told me that, hey, I would like you to come over to just watch. And I was like, wow, I wanted to do something like this. And then apparently I got it. And then I just went there, and I realized a lot of things. I realized that if I want to inspire people, I have to be the student of myself first. Like literally, I have to be the one coaching and teaching myself. So my mindset game just switched, just changed. Because before that, I was just reading self-help motivational books that only inspires me. And I didn't take action at all. I did not do anything at all during that point of time. I was just reading and just pumping up my all my feel-good hormones in my brain, and that's it, right? Then after that, I realized, hey, you know what? Life is not always about failing and failing all the time. I realized something after I had this very intimate conversation with my mentor back then, and he asked me this question, Rayson, what is failure to you? So I would like to ask you guys, these listeners who are tuning in right now, what will your answer be? All right, what will your answer be? So for me back then, my answer was just this: failure is the road to success. How many of you will agree with this sentence, right? I believe both of you will agree. After I spoke with him, I realized failure is not the road to success, ironically. What I realized is failure is feedback to success.
Okay.
Yeah, because how can you define success without failure?
Yes, correct. And failure is feedback to success because after each failure, I'm sure you're going to learn from it, right? So if you learn from it, then it will be a feedback to you that you can become better, and that will lead you towards your own definition of success. This is what I realized. And failure is not the road to success, because if failure have to be the road to success, then how many times do you have to fail in order to be successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
this is what I realized. Even though I would say the guy who invented Kentucky Fried Chicken has failed so many times, but it doesn't define his success. Only what he learned from his failures are the definition towards his success. So this is what I realized over the period of time when I was actually going through that tough time, and also going through that growing phase of me becoming a better or even the best version of myself. And then I also realized that life is not always about failing and failing all the time, because life can never be downslope all the way. Am I right to say that?
Yes.
So it's the same goes with going upwards. Life is always going to be up, down, stagnant a little, but it will never be down all the way. This is what I realized for failure. So I realized that after I improve on my mindset, a lot of miracle happens to me. Some of the negative things happen as well. So it doesn't mean that, once you change your mindset, all the miracles will happen in life. No. Somehow or other, opportunities will come, definitely, but there will also be tough times as well. So let me elaborate on this. So for the tough time that I had after the laid off, breakup, I also had a family member, which is my mom, who suffers from schizophrenia. She actually had a relapse after I landed myself on a job. Okay, and I thought that, hey, you know what? I want to help my mom. I want to learn how to communicate with her. I want to understand her even more, and I want to give back to people who are suffering from mental illness. Since I have this linkage of family member who is suffering from mental illness, why not help her and help the others as well? So I decided to join this current hospital that I'm in to be a psychiatric nurse as well. So I'm grateful that, within this period of time, even though she had this relapse over back then, I believe it has strengthened our bond, because after I've joined this institution, I'm able to understand her even more, and I'm able to help her with her mindset as well. Oh, of course, it's tough at first, but slowly and surely it got better. So this was what I believe. Mindset is really important, because once you are able to tweak it and change it and improve it towards the positivity and optimism, somehow or other, your life will start to have a bigger turn towards the brighter side of things, the brighter side of life.
Absolutely. It's the power of positive thinking.
Yeah,
Right.
It's just like what Gary Vaynerchuk is always emphasizing recently about optimism, positivity. Yeah.
Right.
So this is really important.
So the speech that you heard when you had just lost your job and you had broken up with your girlfriend, during that time when you heard the speech that really inspired you, do you think that that speech would have hit you differently had you not been in the trenches that you were in?
If I haven't met my mentor back then, and if I've not really heard of this phrase, failure is feedback to success, I might have a tougher time towards success as well. I might not have the same opportunities, because the people that I was mixing with weren't successful. No offense to them, but the people that I was mixing with, they were not of a higher level than I was. So that's why I realized that, as much as we want to mix with our best friends who are not so much of a higher caliber in terms of career, in terms of maybe finance and stuff like that, I believe we do need to network with people who are of a higher caliber, higher tier of success, because from there we are able to learn much more than just our peers, much more than our family members. Unless if our family members are part of the millionaire, billionaire group, then of course we can learn a lot from them in terms of life, in terms of success, in terms of finances, how to build a business, entrepreneurship, and etc. But if our friends are just like, for myself, if my friends are all just nurses, doctors, we might be able to learn more of the medical stuff. But of course, there are certain things that we can learn from them as well in terms of life, in terms of finance, if they are from a better family and etc. But I believe it's best if we can mix with people who are of a different occupation, who are maybe entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, like what I'm doing right now. I'm mixing with all these people, not because I want to leverage from them, but because I want to learn from them and see how I can add value to them as well. So it's vice versa.
I mean, there's a saying that says that we are the median of the people that we hang out with.
Yeah, it's like we are of the 5 people that we hang out with. So yeah, and also at the same time, your network equals to your net worth. This is what I truly believe in. Jim Rohn always said this: your network equals to your net worth. But I want to add in one more word into it, and that is your applied networks equal to your net worth. Why I say that is really simple, because if you don't apply whatever that net worth of people, your networks of people who are of a higher net worth are teaching you, you will not scale up your business. You will not be able to scale up your business. You will not be able to scale up your branding and etc. So it is really, really important if you are able to apply whatever your networks are teaching you, guiding you, sharing with you in terms of insights, words of wisdoms, experiences, and etc. into your own life.
Yeah. And when you say network, you're talking about relationships more than anything, right?
Yes.
You having
correct.
good relationships with people ensures that your network is strong, and a strong network
correct.
is a strong net worth.
Yes, definitely. Can you imagine if you are a good friend of Gary Vaynerchuk, or if you're a good friend of Tony Robbins, or perhaps Robin Sharma, or many other people who are in the industry, or even Ray Dalio, right? If you're a good friend of Ray Dalio, if you're a good friend of Warren Buffett, for example, and they're always having a mastermind group where you guys are not just playing golf, where you're not just sitting chilling at a bar or cafe, but you are actually sharing tips, advices, and maybe sharing with your friends about the problem that you're facing in your business and etc. And perhaps you may ask them for some solutions, quick solutions or whatever. And that is where your mastermind will help you to grow. And that is where your applied network will help you with your net worth as well. So this is what I see from mixing with so many people who are of a higher caliber than I am, and some of my friends who are of a similar caliber than I am, right? Once I mix with these people who are of a higher caliber, man, I realize a lot of things, and I'm able to improve on many areas of my life, be it financial planning or even public speaking as well. It helped me a lot, and it even helped me with copywriting as well. I have a couple of good friends who are really good with copywriting and allowing your Facebook post to be so viral that it got so many people's attention and likes and engagements as well. I would say these are the people that I really mix with so that I can grow. And there's also a saying that says that if you are the smartest person in the room, get out of there, because you are already giving too much value to other people, that you need some other people to give you more value than just you giving other people as well. So
you need people to feed into you as well.
Yep.
So how do you advise others to be able to find the network of people?
Okay, so it's pretty simple. Okay, I usually coach my students this as well. So if you want to really network with people who are of a higher net worth, go and network with them in networking events, be it Toastmasters, be it they call it the business networking BNI. Okay, BNI is very popular in US and Singapore as well. Business networking something. I can't remember that I word, but it is where a lot of business associates, entrepreneurs, and maybe even financial planners and etc. will meet up in early in the morning to actually share 1 or 2 minutes about themselves, and also at the same time they will start to share about what they are doing and what value they can add to other people, and they will start to have people proposing ideas or even suggestions of who they can recommend to them. So these are one of the ways that I believe could help these people to grow, or even networking events that you chance upon in Facebook. So Facebook has this event page, right? So if there are any kind of events that you can see over there that you find will be fruitful and will be beneficial for your business as well, and you can add value to the people over there, just go for it. And I'm sure you can meet a lot of people.
And there's a lot of online communities that you can find, like you mentioned Facebook, but I know there's other Instagram communities. There's other social networking communities where you can actually go on and actually have conversations like what we're having right now with other people.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and you can also go to seminars, workshops, perhaps maybe UPW, Unleash Your Power Within by Anthony Robbins. And that's where I found a few other close-knitted people to hang out with. And I also recently I went to National Achievers Congress, and then this is actually part of what Success Resources, which is one of the biggest seminar, I would say, this organizer who does all these seminars and speeches and all this kind of things, where they actually get people to come to watch Gary. They get to watch people like Brendon Burchard and so many other people to speak. So this is what I believe you will get a lot of huge value from, especially if you're shy. Just go there and then slowly adapt with the environment, and then slowly get into the momentum of speaking to the other people. Yeah, so this is what I believe in.
Yeah, I think taking a page from even Gary Vaynerchuk, starting, just doing it, just go and just do it.
Yes.
Like, what keeps you from doing what it is that you want to do in life? What is it that holds you back? Sometimes it's just a simple fear of introductions or fear of saying hi and wondering what somebody's going to think of you. But why wonder about what somebody thinks of you? Just go and do it. Just go say hi, go network, go to these places and just be there.
Yeah,
that's great advice.
Yeah, execution is key. This is the most important thing. If you do not execute on your goals, on your dreams, or just networking itself, then somehow or other you will tend to regret in the longer run, because you'll be asking yourself why you didn't do it when you're supposed to do it, right? So this is really very important, very essential towards your own growth, especially if you want to be of a higher tier in your next 10, 20 years of your life. You need to go and network with the right people, with the awesome people, and then learn from there and apply whatever that they have learned, that they have taught.
I love that. I know that for Tiffany, for the T of Life podcast, she went out of town to a convention in Nashville for podcasting, and she was able to network.
Yes.
She got out of the house, she got out of town, and she got into a new city and was able to meet a bunch of new people. And you've actually been able to tap into some of this networking that you did, even recently on some things, and it's been super helpful. So the networking aspect, it's more than trying to build up a status. You can actually lean into this network of people sometimes when you really need them. And it's amazing what can happen when your network of people is strong and those people know more than you do, and you can lean into them for advice.
Right. And it was just going and basically just striking up normal conversations, just getting to know people on a personal level. And then I was able to bring that home and then continue the networking here at home by continuing the conversations back and forth, and now more on a professional level. Yeah.
This is what we should be doing, rather than just networking in just a seminar and then let it stay in the seminar. The networking can go out of the seminar and grow from there. So this is what I believe in. If you want to network with people, you need to build relationship with them, not just hi and bye and hey, this is my name card, give me your business, give me some of the business that I need, and that's it. And I'll give you a commission, and that's it. No, it's more than that. If you are able to build relationships from there, the more your net worth will grow, because people will start to hear your name, people will start to buy into your products and services, and people will start to build trust with you. Especially this generation, millennial generation, is not so much about social media as well. It's also about trust. You need this. I would say this is the trust generation, the generation of trust. You need to build trust with anyone, be it their 60, 70, 80, or even their 20s. You need to build trust with them. And then from there, that's where magic happens. That's where people will start to collaborate with you. This generation, generation Y and Z, it will definitely be all about collaboration. This is what I believe in. Now, a lot of people are doing collabs. So I believe sooner or later, collaboration will be much more stronger than just traditional business itself.
So, have you written any books?
Yes, I had. And as you can see on my bookshelves, there's quite a number of books. I have read more than, say, about 50, 60 books over the 4 years.
Okay.
So not to brag, but I believe reading is really powerful, and it is something that you can learn from the authors, from the speakers, from the coaches. If you do not have the huge amount of money to pay them to coach you one-on-one or one-to-many, it will the best start will be reading books. And the first book that I've ever read and I've ever applied is actually How to Win Friends and Influence People by
Dale
Carnegie.
Yes.
It's a good one.
That's a great book. Yes.
That's the best book
I have that on the reading list for
Yeah.
my teenager. Yes.
Yep. It's one of the best. And then after that, I started to read even more, like The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. So Rhonda Byrne is the Australian director who films this show called The Secret, this movie called The Secret, where it's talking about laws of attraction. The whole movie is about laws of attraction, and she managed to get people like Bob Proctor into the show as well. So yeah, so it's an amazing movie. You can go YouTube it, and it's available online as well. The full movie is available online. You can watch it. So yeah, I learned a lot about laws of attraction, about entrepreneurship, about motivation. So many kind of tips that you do not learn from school. You do not learn from your teachers when they are teaching chemistry, when they're teaching you physics, quantum physics. They don't teach you so much about how to be successful in life, but they only teach you what's based on the curriculum. So I believe if you want to go beyond, you have to start reading self-help, motivational, entrepreneurial, business books. So that is where you can scale up your life if you are really into scaling up your life and your business. So these are a couple of books that I've read, and even like Robin Sharma's book where it's about the monk who sold his Ferrari. Yeah, that was one of a good book as well, where you learn a lot about values, about how to be more humble, how to be able to help other people, not just helping yourself, but also helping other people through a different means, which I found really, really important. Like the more you give, the more you will receive, right? And the more you give, the more meaning it will add to your life. So this is what this is what I learned. And also at the same time, the more you buy items, the more you feel satisfied. You feel that satisfaction at first, but then slowly you will lose that satisfaction because you realize that, man, that amount of money that you bought for maybe the Ferrari or Lamborghini could have helped the millions who are of a third world country, right? So that will give you, unless the meaning of having the car is different from what we are thinking of. So if that car gives you, wow, I can go to my work
that adds
faster,
value.
Things. Yeah, correct. So it all depends on perception, your mindset, right? So that's why I said mindset is really, really important. So if your mindset is towards arrogance, then of course your life will somehow or rather go downwards slowly and surely, because you'll start to dislike yourself, you start to dislike your lifestyle, you start to dislike a lot of things, and you'll find emptiness, which some of my students asked me before. Why is it that we have to keep working and eating, sleeping, and then repeat the same cycle again? And they hated it. So I told them, what if you were to add certain meaningful things into your routine, into your habit, and make it meaningful? What will you actually do? And then they started to think, okay, maybe I can go for some donation drive. I can help out some people cross the streets, some elderly. I can give up the seats. Start basic. Then after that, grow from there. See what you can do. Yeah. So this is what I've learned from all these books that I've read. I just recently read The Ruler's Guide by Hua Tang. This is a book about one of the very first emperor of China, and that emperor's name was called Tang Taizong. So it's all about the values that he has been preaching over the years, something like what Jesus has been preaching as well. So it's like he actually taught about how we should do unto others like how we want to do to ourselves. So a lot of amazing values which I would recommend people to read. This is a really amazing book, and there are many other amazing books as well, like Expert Secret by Russell Brunson, where he teaches you how to find your why and how to find your niche and sub-niche, and then go and impact people from there and grow your business from there. Yeah, Russell Brunson is really amazing. Yeah, his book is awesome.
Do you have any plans in writing your own book?
It's in the process.
Okay.
It's in the process. Yeah, so I'm writing my own book. It's called Ragacy: How to Create Your Own Legacy from Within. So I realized that if you want to create your own legacy, everything starts from within. Everything starts from down under, deep within you. Yeah, everything. It's not so much about just what you learn from the seminars and etc. If you don't apply them, if you don't improve on your mindset, then it will just stay there. It will just stay as a knowledge. But once you apply your knowledge, it won't just be power, but it will be also an impact to others and even to yourself. So yeah, so this is what I believe in terms of legacy. Every legacy started from within. People like Tony Robbins, people like, I would say, Barack Obama, people like Winston Churchill, people from all over the world, Mahatma Gandhi and so many other people, everything all started from within because they made a decision to impact people and to improve others' lives and not just theirs. So yeah, so it all started from in here and in here. So this is what I truly believe in.
Yeah, you have some incredible advice, and I think that the amount of reading that you've done on the subjects that you're passionate about it's overwhelming. You know what you're talking about.
Oh well, thank you. I'm still learning. I would say it's still a beginning for me. It's just a starting for me. Even though I've read so much, speak in different platforms, shared in different platforms as well, doing my own show, I believe there's more. There's more to come. Same goes to Tea of Life podcast. I believe there's more for you guys as well. And especially when you have actually networked with so many other people from the podcast event, which is one of the biggest in US from what I heard. This podcasting event, I was invited to go there. It's just that my schedule was too packed. So I'll try to see whether in next year or so whether can I go for it. I heard it's like one of the biggest, where all the podcasters from US and all over the world, who has huge audience, like people like John Lee Dumas. If you have heard of him, he's the one who does Fire Entrepreneur or something like this. His podcast is one of the best podcasts in US, in iTunes, Spotify as well. So a lot of these people will be there to actually share their tips and to network with people and see how they can actually interview other people or get other people on their show, or even get referrals to their show and stuff like that. So yeah, so this is really an amazing event which I would like to go next year or so.
Yeah, next year it's going to be in August. Maybe I'll see you there.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. I'll plan a trip over there. I'm planning a trip to US soon, so hopefully I can actually meet you guys up over there as well.
Yeah, that would be great. So you have a desire to inspire 50,000 people by the year 2020.
Yes, correct. Yeah, correct. So I have reached about, say, 30-ish or so already. So what I want to do is to impact 50,000 people by 2020 with my story, not just through podcasts, not just through newspaper articles, not just through traditional medium, okay, like newspaper, radio, and stuff, and all this kind of mediums. But I would like to also be speaking as well. So I've been actually speaking and inspiring people through this what we call as human library. So human library is pretty big from, if I'm not mistaken, it's from Denmark or so. So someone from over there brought this idea to Singapore, and it's basically just through sharing our own story as a book. So we are a physical book which you go to a library to borrow. So we are the human book. So you get to borrow us, and we get to share our story. So I've been impacting lives through human library. I've been impacting lives through public speaking as well. So I want to grow a bigger reach, not just locally but also internationally through podcasts and many other interviews as well. And hopefully I can be able to reach towards Oprah and maybe Ellen DeGeneres, or not say maybe, but I believe Ellen DeGeneres, Oprah. These two are one of the biggest ones that I would like to be part of in the next few years. In order
set your sets high.
Yeah, have to.
Very cool. So you were saying earlier when you're talking about your influence and talking about growing podcasts and growing your network, what are some of the tips, I guess, for doing some of that?
First and foremost, you need to be clear, okay, about what you really want, like literally. In my opinion, clarity is king. So meaning to say that if you are clear about why you want to be featured on certain podcasts or even getting people to be on your show, then you will grow faster. You will go even faster when you have a clearer why. If you do not have a clearer why, you can't go anywhere, like literally. You will be stuck. Even though you have reached a certain milestone, however, you will still be stuck because you'll be thinking, hey, what should I do? Because your purpose is not clear. Your mission is not clear. So that's why you need to be clear about who you want to be featuring on your show, why you want them, and why you want your podcast or why you want your show or any brand that you have or products or services to be known out there. So the why is very important. And then next, you need to be shameless. Shameless, not saying be shameless in promoting your product first. No, because if you are just selling, okay, your item to people, like if you are selling toothpaste and then you are telling them that this is so good, this is so good, this is so good to 50 to 60 people, nobody will want it. Not everyone will definitely want it, right? So instead of shamelessly selling, what I believe is shamelessly asking. Meaning to say, like when I first chanced upon Tea of Life podcast, I didn't tell you who I am and whatsoever, and then I want to be on your show. I didn't do that. I do the reverse, right? I asked you, just wondering, how do people get featured on your podcast, right? I just asked you, and then after that, you just tell me, so how, and then I just say, oh, wow. And then you look through my profile, and I'm really grateful for it. And then from there, I actually learned that, hey, this is actually a US podcast, and it's growing, and it has a community of few hundred people to 1,000 plus, and it's growing slowly and surely, and many people are tuning into your Facebook Live, and also your podcast as well. So I was like, wow, this is something that I can help to add value as well. Not just you adding value to me to promote me in US, but to also at the same time allow me to add my thought process, my thought content into your show. So that's why I felt that instead of shamelessly promoting your stuff to people first, why not shamelessly ask first?
What a great way to kind of talk through how to make a forward step towards what you really want. It's the right way to ask if you think about it. It really is. Instead of saying, here's my credentials, here's all the things that I'm known for, you say, how do I become on your podcast, or how do I become your friend, or how do I become one of the people that you trust to call when it's time to call?
Yeah.
Or that's the basics of networking.
Yeah,
Instead
it's
of like
very
saying how
simple.
good I am, you say, how can I align myself with you?
Yeah, now you look at when we were a kid, right? How many of us who are listening, tuning into this podcast right now, how many of you have actually realized when we were a kid, when we were a small boy or small girl, how many of times we prove to people that we are that damn good, so you have to be our friend? Are there any of us did that when we were a kid? No, right? So it applies when we are adults. The reason why adulthood is so complicated is because of the wants, the needs, and so many other a lot of bad negativity that society has brought us to, that even media, in terms of TV, in terms of maybe Netflix, no offense to Netflix, but those shows that were being shown on Netflix, some of them about that have actually impacted a lot of people in terms of maybe networking. Maybe they have this scenes about how people were being bullied, how people they have to actually network with people, they have to make friends with people in certain ways because of maybe Superman, in the show of Superman or in the show of Friends have shown it. So we have to do it the similar as them so that we can get that popularity hype up, So it's not really that complicated. A lot of things are meant to be simplified. It's just that we adults think it the otherwise. Yeah, so by right, a lot of things are meant to be so simple, right? Even though, of course, building a business is tough. But why is it that 1% can do it and then 99% can't? It's not because they don't have the right mindset. It's because they do not know how to leverage. They do not know how to network and leverage from there. The mindset they have, wow, entrepreneurial mindset. Yes, they know how to start a business and all those things, but they do not know how to sustain the business because they do not know how to leverage from people who are way higher than them in terms of their net worth, right? I'm not saying about you meeting Donald Trump. No, it's not about that. If Donald Trump knows about your business, about podcast, good. That will be a one-hit wonder, right? But of course, if you do not have these leverages, if you don't have this network, you might need to cold call. But of course, if you want to cold call, here's a tip, right? If you want to cold call to people who are of a high status, build friendship from there first. Never, 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 never sell them the podcast, the service, the product that you have. Because in the end, nobody cares. Literally. Nobody cares about what podcast, what product, what service are you going to sell unless if it justifies them to need it, to want it. So that's where they will buy from your website, your service and product and etc. So this is what I realized. This is what I believe. So that's how I got Gary Vaynerchuk on my show. I didn't just go and, hey, Gary, I am podcaster and also at the same time, I've been following you. I would like you to be on the show. No, I didn't go there. We just had a private session. I was really, really grateful to be invited to be on this private session with him, together with a few other influencers and etc. from Singapore. So we met, and that private session was just about our growth, how we have been and what have we been up to and etc. And that's where I actually shared with him about my story, about my life and etc. How I grew, how I actually went from laid off to sustaining in a job and also growing way beyond what a psychiatric nurse should be doing. Okay, and I'm not bragging about this. I'm just sharing with you guys about this, and then that's where I actually planted this seed where I said about I'm doing this show. I am actually doing this show, and I realized that you will scold me because he is an investor for Facebook, and also at the same time he will definitely screw people off for not boosting their posts, for not boosting their ads. Okay, which is what I learned. I have to, not because Gary says it, but because it works. He told me the importance of boosting ads, and also at the same time how we can leverage from boosting ads. My audience are usually organic, and it hits 1,000, 2,000 people easily, right, and naturally, without any boosting of ads. So I asked him, hey, how about this? I would like to actually get you on the show. Would it be possible? And then he said, yeah, sure. I'll give you 5 minutes of my time, because he's going for a seminar that I'm attending as well. So he's going there to speak. So yeah, so I'm grateful that before he starts to speak, I already got his attention and I got him to be on the show. And yeah, if you guys want to watch the interview, you can go to my Facebook profile, Rayson Choo, or you can go to my Facebook page, Raygacy. So that's Ragacy, Raygacy, and check it out as well. Yeah, the interview.
Gary is one of these people that's out there in the world who unashamedly just believes wholeheartedly what he talks about.
Yes.
He talks about the value of like you having personal identity, working from within, really believing in yourself, and not taking what other people say about you as a negative, like trying to reflect all of that, reflect the negative, take the positive, use the positive. And I love his message. I like his brand.
Yeah.
What a cool guy. And what a great thing for you to get him to be on your podcast. So way to go on getting him
thank you.
That's great.
I've been consecutively getting influencers after influencers after influencers after influencers. Not because I kissed their ass. Not because I say, hey, man, you're so handsome. You're so great. I love your videos. I would like you to be on the show. No, it's not just that. Build friendship first, and then from there start to pump in some feel good hormones to them. Of course, yes, somehow or other you need to be authentic in sharing about how you feel about their product, how they act, and etc. If you really want people like J-Lo, if you want people like I would say maybe even Dwayne Johnson into your show, you need some of this. But of course, the most important thing is being real and authentic, not just to yourself, but to other people as well. That is key, because if you are not clear about who you are, what you want, why you want it, who you want to be on your podcast, why you want them to be on your podcast, and even to the extent of knowing who that person really is, and you start just kissing their asses, that will give them really bad impression, and they will definitely repel you from their list, and they might even ban you from making friends with them or even connecting with them. This is something that I truly believe we need to, and that is building friendship. Like three of us, we are now building friendship. Even the people that has interviewed me, I'm building friendship with them so that I can give them opportunities and I can get people to be on their show as well. Or maybe they want me to be on their show for a second time, third time. Yeah, by all means. It's all about network, the friendship. Yeah, it's not just so much about how much you can leverage from one another, but it's about building authentic friendship first. Then from there, we grew. And something very interesting about life is that everyone are being taught of this notion that as you grow older, the amount of friends that you have is getting lesser. To be frank, my opinion is that's not 100% true.
It should be going the other way.
Older,
right.
Yeah, as you grow older and as you go travel around the world or even in Facebook and etc., friends are going to grow. And it's how you perceive the friendship that sustains it. And how authentic you are and that person is towards you that can help to grow that friendship rather than just you alone building the friendship. Both partners have to build it as well. Just like husband and wife have to build the relationship from ground zero to until now. Maybe you guys have been married for more than 10, 15 years of your life.
21 years.
21 years. Wow. Amazing. So yeah, so it's all about building it rather than just making friends and that's it. It's more than that. It's beyond that.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. Your time is valuable, and we really appreciate you taking some time with us today. And I think we've all learned a lot. I know that I have. And thank you for your wisdom. Is there anything else that you have coming up that you want to promote real quick before we end?
I will be getting a few other people on my show pretty soon for the upcoming weeks. So you guys can actually check it out. It's actually Facebook Live. I use Facebook Live to interview people. So you can actually check out on Raygacy, where I get entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, celebrities, media personalities, influencers, even speakers, coaches to be on the show. Next week, most probably I'll be getting an entrepreneur, and then after that, a celebrity coming along, and then after that, a few other entrepreneurs, plus someone that's quite big in our local industry in terms of singing, acting as well. So I'll get you guys to be notified as well. So yeah, and also at the same time, I'm actually building Ragacy pretty fast. So if you guys are interested to know more, can check it out in my page as well. And I will be glad to let people understand more about what Ragacy is all about and how I can offer them the service of building their brand up from ground zero. This is what I am building right now.
How can people contact you? What's your means of contact there? Okay,
sure. So you can actually contact me on my email. Okay, so email is Rayson Choo, RAYSONCHOO21@gmail.com for now. And then also at the same time, you can contact me via my Instagram. My Instagram handle is actually RAYGACY, or you can check me out on Facebook as well, Rayson Choo, RAYSON space CHOO, and then RAYGACY is my Facebook page. So yeah, so just let me know that you have actually tuned into the show, because I'm currently, after my interview with Gary and the other influencers, I'm getting like 200 plus ads, Facebook ads. No joke. It's like I need a lot of time to add, decline, accept, decline, accept, decline. So yeah. So just let me know that you have tuned into the show and how I can help you as well. So yeah.
Great. And we will put all those links in our show notes as well. So anybody can go to our website, toflifepodcast.com, and check out the show notes for all those links.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for having me on your show. Really love it. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Maybe we can have you on again sometime. We would love that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you. It was great meeting you.
Likewise.
If you like Tea of Life podcast and you've got two friends who want to create the life that they love to live, tell them about us. Find us on your favorite social media platform like Facebook or Instagram. Also, right now before you forget, go to Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts and search for Tea of Life podcast. Hit the subscribe button and never miss an episode. Thank you for listening to Tea of Life podcast. We'll see you next Monday.